Hi Year 6 and welcome back. I hope you've had a really fantastic half term. This term we are going to be learning all about food and farming. Let me share my screen and then we'll get started. So what I would like you to do is just very quickly think of a food that's either something you've eaten recently, or you can choose something on the screen and just have a quick think about where it's come from. And that doesn't mean the supermarket. Where has it come from? Excellent. So we're going to start off by looking at different types of farming. So those foods that you were just thinking of, they started their life in some type of farm. Okay, so there's three different types of farming. There's arable farming, and this, if you were thinking of a fruit or vegetable or a type of cereal, that would have come from an arable farm where crops are grown. Okay, if you were thinking of some meat or fish, it comes from a pastoral farm, okay, where animals are reared for either meat, dairy or wool. Then there is mixed farming, where some farmers choose to grow crops and keep animals, and that's known as mixed farming. So most of your food that you were thinking of a minute ago would have come from one of these types of farms. So we're going to have a quick quiz just to get us thinking about some foods and farms. So the first question I've got for you is, how many farms are there in the UK? So how many farms are there in the UK? Are there 100,000, 210,000, 280,000 or 500,000? You can either pause the video and get a piece of paper and a pencil to jot this down, or you can have a think, or if there's someone else in the room, have a quick chat with them. Okay, well done. This was quite a tricky one to start with, but those of you who guessed C, 280,000 farms in the UK, well done. Okay, next question. What percentage of the world's food gets thrown away as waste? So this is now talking about the world. What percentage of the world's food gets thrown away as waste? So we've got A, 10%, B, 15%, C, 25%, or D, 50%. Okay, well done, Year 6. Those of you who think it's D, 50%, you were correct. Okay, so not quite, but almost half of the world's food that is grown or produced gets thrown away as waste. So let's just think about that for a minute. So this is an interesting one. What percentage of fruit and vegetables don't get sold in the supermarket because they're the wrong size or shape? So is it A, 30%, B, 50%, C, 60%, or D, 75%? So they don't even make it onto the supermarket shelves because they are the wrong size or shape. Well done, Year 6. It's A, actually, 30%, which is still a huge amount. Just because they're the wrong size or shape or not perfectly formed, they don't even make it to our supermarket shelves. Okay, here's just a few other facts. We've gone through the first few, but this one I found quite interesting as well, that bananas can travel over 5,000 miles before they reach our supermarkets. Next week, we're going to have a look at kind of air miles and seasonal foods. But some of our food travels a really long way before it gets to our supermarkets. But farming isn't a new thing. Archaeologists have found evidence of the first signs of farming as long ago as 12,000 years. Today in the UK, over 80% of our countryside is farmland. And some people try to eat seasonal food. And again, we're going to talk about this in more detail next week. So this is food that is ready to be picked and eaten during that season, rather than food that's been stored or has travelled a long way, like those bananas, from where it's been produced. So today's activity, we're going to be looking at what's on our plate. So I got you to think about some food right at the beginning. And now I'd like to think about what's on your plate. And our activity today is I would like you to draw your plate of food or choose a few items from the fridge or the cupboard to do some research about. I would like you to think about where these foods have come from and try to research your food by focusing on these questions. Where does it grow today? What climate does it need in order to grow well? Is it seasonal or does it grow all year round? Where did it originate from? Where did it originally come from? When did it become popular? And where is it exported to today? So this is an example of a plate of food. You can either take pictures of your plate of food if you're doing it this evening or at lunchtime, or you can draw your plate of food, or you can choose a couple of items from your fridge or your cupboard to draw and then research. So lemons, I've decided that's one of the things from my plate of food that I am going to discuss today. So I did some research and apparently all citrus fruits can trace their roots back to the foot of the Himalayas. However, today, most lemons are exported from Spain. So that's nearly 25% of the world's lemons that we eat are exported from Spain. However, they're also grown in a number of other countries, including Mexico, Netherlands, South Africa and Turkey. So they became very popular in the early 19th century. Lemon trees are adapted to grow in warm Mediterranean climates, and they are seasonal, which means they're mainly harvested between late winter and early summer. So you can't really get lemons all the year round. After I've done my lemons, I may then do some research about my tomatoes that are on my plate or my salmon that is on the plate. You may want to look at the labels that are on your food. So, for example, on my lemon, there's a sticker that says it is from Spain, confirming what I did my research on, that most lemons are exported from Spain. You may want to look about where your salmon is from. For example, a lot of our salmon is from Scotland. All right, they have lots of salmon farms in Scotland. So you might have Scottish salmon on your plate. And again, tomatoes. Where are your tomatoes from? Did they come with a label? Can you do some research about where they're from, where they're grown, where they've originated from, how they are exported today? Right, Year 6. Well, I am really looking forward to seeing your work uploaded on Seesaw, and I will see you next week. Bye.